Did you have any bad luck today? Waking up late and encountering traffic jams. The attendance machine didn't recognize your fingerprint. Or preparing to shop for the new year and hearing about a pay cut. If you encounter bad luck, you have an excuse to blame it on Friday the 13th. Cultural influences and mass media products have made Friday the 13th one of the most commonly mentioned things when someone encounters misfortune. There is even a horror series named Friday the 13th, which has become one of the world's classic film brands. Even in the West, there is a fear syndrome of Friday the 13th, though this belief is somewhat superstitious. Many people still have a psychological fear and avoid carrying out work, business deals, or traveling on this day. In the U.S., an estimated 17.21 million people are afraid of this day, according to a study by the Stress and Syndrome Control Center. Americans may not know which President Lincoln was, but they certainly know what Friday the 13th means. According to calculations by the Impact Research Institute and the Financial Management Center in North Carolina, commercial losses can reach up to $900 million when the 13th day of the month falls on a Friday. Customers limit their buying and selling activities, and laborers are afraid, worried, and determined to take the day off. In a survey of 500 participants at the Pow Wow Now seminar, more than a quarter of the British admit they believe something bad will happen on the 13th. For every 10 people, there is one who is afraid of taking a train on Friday the 13th. 11% refuse to stay in a hotel room with the number 13, and 16% will not board a plane on this supposedly unlucky day. The origin of the fear surrounding Friday the 13th has not been determined. Scientists have not found any handwritten text with a fear of Friday the 13th before the 19th century. However, 13 has long been a number that brings bad luck and is cursed throughout the world. Beliefs about the number 13 appeared in the 18th century BC. In the ancient Babylonian Hammurabi Code, there was no number 13. Most of the classification forms from ancient times never included the number 13, but often used the number 12. For example, there were 12 Greek gods or 12 months in a year. According to Norse mythology, the number 13 originated from the trickster god Loki secretly collaborating with the dark god Hodor to assassinate the god of happiness Balder at a party in heaven. At that time, only 12 gods were invited, and Loki was the 13th guest who attended uninvited. Immediately after Balder's death, the earth was shrouded in darkness and mourning, making it an unfortunate and unhappy day. Even today, the number 13 is still a haunting issue for many people around the world. Many cities do not number their streets or avenues with 13. Many skyscrapers do not have a 13th floor. Hospitals avoid naming rooms with the number 13, and some airports do not have a gate 13. Friday is also an unlucky day of the week for Westerners. Some believe that Friday is the day Eve gave Adam the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden, which caused them to be expelled. The Great Flood of God was used to punish humans on Friday. King Solomon's temple was destroyed on a Friday. Throughout human history, many events have occurred, and not a few of them happened on Friday the 13th. Followers of Christianity always consider Friday the 13th as a day of sin and tragedy, because it was the day when Jesus was betrayed by Judas for only 30 pieces of silver. And Jesus himself was crucified on the cross on Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th of April 1204 was the day when Constantinople, the capital of the Roman Empire, was looted by religious robbers during the Fourth Crusade. On Friday the 13th of 1307, King Philip IV of France ordered the arrest and execution of the Knights Templar, who were considered sacred figures during the medieval period, because the king believed they held too much power. This is also one of the reasons why Friday the 13th is believed to be cursed. Also on Friday the 13th, but 214 years after the Knights Templar were destroyed, the Aztec Empire was on the brink of collapse. In 1521, an important event occurred when the glorious emperor of the Aztec Empire, Cuauhtémoc, was captured by the Spanish invaders when they attacked the city of Tenochtitlan. This event marked the beginning of the downfall of the Aztec Empire, which was completely wiped out. On Friday the 13th of July 1951, a horrific flood occurred in the U.S. state of Kansas. Heavy rains caused the river water to rise rapidly, leading to one of the largest floods in history known as the Great Flood. Not to mention natural disasters or accidents, the economy is not immune to the unlucky cycle of Friday the 13th. In 1989, the stock market lost billions of dollars when October 13th fell on a Friday, which is considered the second highest loss in the history of the world stock market. Many companies went bankrupt, and the global market was in turmoil due to billions of dollars in losses. Also in the same year, IBM was hit by a chaotic wave when a strange virus attacked thousands of computers throughout the UK. The only solution was to erase the hard drive and reinstall the computer, resulting in many companies, individuals, and agencies losing important information and data on Friday the 13th of 1989. Closer to our time. On Friday the 13th of 2012, the most modern and advanced cruise ship, Costa Concordia, departing from Italy, capsized, causing many deaths and injuries. This is considered one of the most unfortunate events in the shipping industry, as modern cruise ships like Costa Concordia rarely encounter such incidents. Throughout history, Friday the 13th has witnessed many tragic and dark events of humanity. Therefore, it is understandable that many people believe this day truly brings misfortune and bad luck. But is it true? In reality, we can encounter misfortune at any time. The events mentioned above just happened to fall on Friday the 13th. And we must admit that there are many more disasters and tragedies that have occurred on other days. In the end, the fear of Friday the 13th is just a form of belief. What about you? Have you ever experienced any misfortune or bad luck on Friday the 13th? Leave a comment and let us know. Goodbye and see you again.